And gang.
Gang, gang.
So what's going on? What are we doing today?
What's up, chat? What are we
I'm Big
doing?
Diesel,
No, I'm Coach.
and today we're doing. Man, it's one of them days, man.
Just one of them days.
It's gotta be one of them days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. We're doing the movie One of Them Days, uh, starring Keke Palmer and
And
SZA,
SZA. Yep.
produced by Issa Rae.
Produced by Issa Rae. Yes.
So,
Yep.
we're gonna do regular review in the front, spoiler in the back. So
Yes.
we'll let you know when we start talking about spoilers. But
Yep. So that is what we are talking about today. So, I guess should I give
and
some time?
should do a rating before we get into spoilers.
Oh yeah. We'll do that. We'll do that.
But yeah, anywho,
So our uh, yeah. So this was a new movie just came out a few weeks ago. At this point, new movie by uh, well,
we just went over.
huh?
We just went over.
Well, yeah, right. Well, Issa Rae produced it, and I forgot the guy who directed. I think it's his first or second feature directed, but it was written by Rita Singleton. I forgot exactly her name, but yes, the movie essentially is it takes place in one day. It follows Keke Palmer's character, who is I believe she's a manager at like a diner, and her best friend, who's an artist, and essentially they have basically less than a day. They have till the end of the day to um, basically get their rent money because so SZA's character, her boyfriend, essentially blows the money, and they just have to find a way to get the money by the end of the day. So
And stuff ensues.
yes, hijinks and whatnot. It definitely has like that feel of like like a '90s comedy.
Friday.
Friday. That's what a lot of people are comparing it to, and they haven't made any what's the word? They haven't been secretive as far as like that being an influence in the movie.
Right.
So it's not a remake or anything like that, but it's definitely
Yeah, it's not the same exactly.
yeah, it's not the same, but it's definitely inspired by it. So it's set in
You can
LA.
still have a movie that's kind of similar to it without
Yeah.
it being a reboot or whatever.
Yeah. It's definitely its own original story.
Yeah.
I appreciated that about it. It's set in LA. Like people who are from there, they definitely probably would appreciate that. They'll notice, the streets and different things that they see in their neighborhood. So, like I've only been to LA once, but it's a pretty cool city. And even though like people associate Hollywood with LA or vice versa, LA with Hollywood, um, there's more to the city than just that. There's more to the area just that than just that. Um, and I like that it just kind of focused on like everyday people just trying to make it. So yeah, that's my general thoughts before getting into the actual meat of the plot. So what did you think?
What's the meat of the plot? The spoilers?
Well, not even the spoilers, just like what go like I guess like the overall themes, because we can talk about the themes of the movie and we can talk about
Yeah.
the different like character things going on without actually getting into spoilers, at least in my opinion. But I wanted to see at least what you thought in terms of like overview of it.
So yeah, I enjoyed it myself. There's
Yeah.
a certain parts you could have warned me about, but
Hey man, say it, man.
there's certain parts where you gotta turn your head. If you're not trying to look at certain things. Yeah, just certain shots where I'm like, really, we gotta do this. We gotta do this.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it's very. I hate to use the word, but it is what it is. It's stereotypical when it comes to certain things. Like you see in every single you know, African American movie. Yeah,
What do you mean by that?
the white people just gotta
Yeah.
be, you know, ditzy or whatever. Like just out of like not. I don't know how to describe it. How you?
Yeah, like very ignorant or not
Yeah,
even or
yeah,
aloof. Just kind of like
yeah,
they just are very not aware, lack of awareness in terms of certain things that they would say in the movie. So I think that might be what you're getting at.
yeah. Which I'm just like, not. I get it. It's a comedy type trope,
Yeah,
but I it really bothers me when stereotypes, no matter what the stereotype is or who it's about, it's just kind of like, come on, can we do something new with these kind of characters? That's kind of some of my only nitpicks, but all in all, I think the the chemistry between SZA and Keke Palmer was great. You get a few cameos, which I was surprised about. Um, they did good. I think everybody did good.
mm-hmm.
Um, and they had this little timer where you didn't forget
Yeah. How much
like
time they had
how
to
much
get
time
the
they
money?
had, which
Yeah,
I thought was a good touch. And yeah, you get the I don't know. They said the N word. You got the N word. You got cussing and all that stuff going on in it.
yeah,
You know, it's typical, but in all, it's still a good movie. But I guess another nitpick is I knew where it was going.
mm-hmm.
I could kind of follow, you know,
Yeah. It's
and
moving. Yeah,
it was like everything I thought was gonna happen pretty much happened. So
yeah,
but it still was an enjoyable thing. I would like to see more from this director. Of course, Keke Palmer and SZA. I mean, I see them doing a sequel, so we'll see. We'll see.
yeah,
But yeah, all in all, I enjoyed myself.
yeah. I hope they do more with it. Like um they could. I well first and foremost, I hope that the movie is financially successful.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so that they are able to
I
do
think
more.
critics and other consumers are liking it a
Yeah,
lot, so it's getting positive reviews. So if you haven't gone seen it, go see it. Yeah, definitely get it. Go to the theater. Out of everything, you know, that's the best January film in my opinion, or it's February then, but
yeah.
yeah,
When it came out in January.
yeah.
Even though we made, did we see? We probably saw it.
January. It's all January.
Did we?
Yeah.
I thought we saw it February 1st.
Oh yeah, Black History Month.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So look at that.
Look at that.
Um, but yeah, I would say that um, yeah, for me, I definitely hope that everybody involved in the film they get the opportunity to make more movies. Whether they make a sequel to this or just are able to make more
Maybe
movies like this,
spin-offs or you know.
even just things that are set in a similar world that it doesn't necessarily even have to have the exact same
Right.
characters. Like even if like I would love for Keke Palmer and SZA to make more things together, whether it's
In
a
different
comedy,
like cities and stuff.
yeah, or just make yeah, like I
Different
like
original stories.
yeah,
And
I
stuff
like
like
when certain directors and certain producers they work with the same actors pretty much, even though they are telling a different story each time, or it's like they're playing a different character. Like you can still see like the chemistry between
yeah.
them because they worked on so many different projects together. Like um, you have like Michael B. Jordan, of course, and Ryan Coogler. They've done
Yeah.
all the movies together, or every Ryan Coogler movie he's done has had Michael B. Jordan in it in some capacity.
Yeah.
You got like Robert De Niro and Martin Scorsese. Like he's been in like 10 of his movies. Like there's certain actors like they just gel with certain directors.
James Gunn.
Yeah, James Gunn. He uses a lot of the same actors, but I'm thinking about it from the standpoint of like uh, actors being in a lot of the same movies together because we should mention that this is SZA's first movie, and so I thought she did a great job from that standpoint.
She did.
Like she had great like comedic timing. Like she did like
I want to say Keke,
stunts.
not trying to take anything away from SZA, but I feel like Keke probably helped her out with all that.
Yeah. It was definitely Keke was probably like definitely like the main protagonist. It was definitely like a two-hander in the situation, but it was like if you think about it, it's like it's Kiki's movie in a sense.
It's both of them.
Both of theirs, yeah. But like
but of course Kiki's the main character, but
main character,
both.
Yeah.
She's in just as many scenes. They're in everything together.
Yeah. Pretty much, yeah. There was only like I mean, hopefully this doesn't get into a spoiler. There is like a brief section where they're not together in the movie, but they're still brought back pretty quickly after that. So it's like they're pretty much almost always together in the movie, and I felt like you definitely had to have great chemistry in order to do that. Like, so I personally I was like it seemed like they really had been friends. Like they played roommates, so it's like, and I think they had been roommates for I think 6 years or 7 years, however long. So you got the feeling that that they really were friends for that long, at least for me. So I felt like I enjoyed the story. I enjoyed the comedy aspect of it. I do kind of see your criticisms of certain stereotypes. It probably didn't bother me as much, but because I think that in some ways, like I would say it's hard to completely avoid stereotypes in movies unless you're doing a thing where you're pointing out the stereotypes, but you're doing it in like a clever way, which is hard to do. Like so, I'll say it is. I'm not saying that it's impossible not to do stereotypes, but it is. I'll say it's challenging to like completely have like zero in a comedy, because with comedy it's kind of like you're playing off a certain.
I get it. I got that. And there was some good shots that it was saying, like I think one time they were kind of walking in separate, like they were still in the same scene, but one was on the top and the other one was on the bottom. So that was a cool scene. Again, I feel like everybody did good. So it's definitely a film to watch.
Yeah, definitely. And I would say too, going in blind, like I mean, I think if you've seen the trailer, you could probably get a gist of where the movie's gonna go, but I don't think you would necessarily even need to watch the trailer to watch it. Like it's one of those movies where you can follow along very easily.
Yeah, I don't think I watched the trailer. I think I just saw it.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Rating. So before, do you want to give them spoilers?
We can do the rating. So we're going to give the movie a rating before we go into the spoiler section, so people that have seen it and want to hear more about the plot and how we felt about certain decisions and writing choices. So we're about to give our ratings. So yeah,
and then do a spoiler.
And then give some spoilers.
So 4.5 for me. I thought it was really good, minus my little critiques, but yeah, I thought it was good. Definitely see me getting this on the DVD. Yes, I can still get DVDs.
I gave it a 4, which is crazy. I thought I liked it more than you did, but crazy how the ratings be. So we'll check back on it. But
spoiler alert! Now we are about to get into the spoilers. So if you don't want to hear any spoilers and you have not seen the movie, peace, love, and all that good stuff. Comment, share, and we're about to get into the spoilers real quick.
Yeah. So you got 5, 4, 3, 2-0. Okay, let's go. So yeah, in this movie, well, first, I don't want to just talk through the whole plot.
Yeah.
But I do want to mention certain things, like you have how the movie begins with establishing LA. You've got it's giving you that vibe and that feel, um, and then you have SZA. Well, you have Keke Palmer. She's exiting her ending her shift, and then SZA's character is picking her up, and then that's kind of like when they get back home, and SZA's boyfriend is there. Then find out that uh, the rent wasn't paid, and that's kind of when everything goes to like. And for me, it was I don't know. It was just wild that SZA would just give the money to the boyfriend like that, and she just expected him to pay, knowing the type of dude that he is.
Sometimes when you're just in that kind of relationship,
you do dumb stuff. So I get. So I'm not saying.
And you gotta also. I don't know how old she's supposed to be in the film, but you also got to think about that. And when I know in my time, probably around early 20s, I was making dumb relationship choices. So.
Yeah. I don't know why. It seemed like in that they were like
naive,
mid to late 20s. Even though I know SZA's probably in her 30s at this point. But in the movie, I don't know. They never actually said ages, but that just seemed what I got from them. And they had been roommates for 6 years, so that's why in my head I'm like
probably not early 20s.
Yeah, I would say at least mid to late 20s.
Yeah.
For the characters. But
But I get what you're saying, but it's easy to on the outside looking in.
Right.
To say that, but if we were in that situation,
we all know their situation. What we would do. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
But it's funny, like looking at certain characters and how they each represented certain things. I will say, when you mentioned something about stereotypes, this was another thing. This was a thing I thought about, which it's kind of established fairly on in the film with Bernice, the girl that's like the bully, who was basically beating up on him. So I feel like the stereotype that I haven't really seen any complaints about this, but when I saw the movie the second time, it was like I don't know if I like how they made the dark skinned girl. They made her very like violent and stuff, and they're fight. That's I'm like, to me that was a stereotype that probably bothered me the most. Where it's like, why did she she was very angry. She was just very like
that's violent towards. Stereotype that bothered you.
That probably bothered me the most. I'm not saying I'm like, why did that have to be the thing? I'm not saying like
I get it.
And I'm not saying that she couldn't be, violent, but it's just more so that I feel like that did kind of play into a stereotype.
It did.
Where so that was something that probably I'm not even saying that was like terrible, but when I thought about it, I was like, I don't know if that's the best, if that was like the best choice to make. Not saying it was unrealistic, but I don't know if that was if that's what they wanted to go for.
Yeah, sometimes you can't tell if it's really like they were doing it on purpose or that's just the best person they could have cast as that role.
Yeah, and she did a good job with it. It wasn't it wasn't believable or anything. It was just like when I thought about it, and I didn't even think about it until I saw it the second time. I was like, I don't know if that was a good look. And when you mentioned stereotypes too, that might have been when I thought about it as well. So that was a thing. And then also, the big thing I wanted to mention, and this, I don't know how big of a spoiler this is, but just the dynamic between Keke Palmer's character and SZA's character, they you could tell that they've been friends for a while, but also like it's that thing where you're friends with somebody and then y'all just kind of y'all blow up at each other and y'all have sort of like this. They have this falling out in the sense towards the latter half of the movie after SZA's character does something really stupid.
Because it's like SZA was always getting away every time Keke got ahead. SZA would be the one, to mess it up, and it's like
because she was the one who gave the money.
You gotta realize how frustrating that is, and especially we're still in that situation where we're just kind of like trying to make ends meet and get the bills paid and rents due and all that stuff. So, it's like, sometimes your roommates are not the best, even if they're friends.
Yeah.
Or close family members. Sometimes they're not always the best to room with. That's why, when you do get a roommate, you should definitely kind of like weigh your options.
Yeah.
And definitely vet.
Yeah, have a vetting process. Yeah. And it can be tough when it is someone that is your friend, but you have to be honest with yourself and you have to be honest with them to know like whether or not this will be a good situation, because there are, friendships that have ended over like you were best friends with somebody, you're really close, and then y'all move in together and then you end up falling out because of whether or not it was something that was related to y'all living together or even just the fact that y'all are together and under the same roof, and just you being around somebody can create a lot of tension.
So also, you gotta realize you gotta be careful of toxic friends. Sometimes we may love them, we may want them to do their best, but at sometimes they're bringing you down. Mm-hmm. So for you to get like a positive spirit and a positive energy, sometimes you gotta do what's best for you and kind of cut off those ties. If they're kind of bringing you down into a negative kind of vibe or whatever.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I guess with that, do you feel like they were good friends? Drew and Alyssa. That's the characters' names. Keke Palmer's character's name is Drew. SZA's character's name was Alyssa. So do you feel like they were good friends to each other? Because they had good chemistry, but
I just felt like SZA's character made some dumb decisions.
Yeah.
So she had a lot of work that she needed to do personally. Mm-hmm. Just kind of diving deep. And I feel like they both kind of, when you have certain personalities that kind of clash.
Yeah.
Sometimes, and even us, we're friends, but at the same time we know like the boundaries and we know how to respect one another. But some people, sometimes you can be friends all day long, but when certain things come about, then it's you just never know.
Yeah, that's true. So this was a good, definitely good movie to discuss in regards to friendships, because they definitely have they each have their own vices in a sense. Oh, we didn't talk about this one key element of the movie that Drew, she was interviewing for an important position. So she was a manager at a restaurant, but she was interviewing for I think it was like a corporate position, or like it seemed like more of a corporate role within the company.
Yeah.
And that was really important to her. I think she hadn't graduated from college yet. I think she still had credits, or I don't know if she had dropped out or if she was just taking her time, but she was still she hadn't graduated yet, and she was going for this this position that she really wanted. And that was another thing, her having to deal with that on top of having to pay the rent at the same time, and trying to deal and manage both. and
then you had the an aggressive landlord.
yes, the landlord who
you had the bully that's trying to get her. Why was she chasing him?
Because earlier in the movie, so spoiler alert.
They already know it's a spoiler.
Oh yeah, it's already know. If you're still here, you've seen the movie. We're gonna assume that. So early in the movie, SZA's boyfriend was at the crib
with another girl. Yeah.
Well, with another girl at her crib after he had basically escaped Drew and Alyssa's place because they're about to question him to see what happened with the money, and they realized he hadn't dipped out, and then
did he give her the money?
I don't think he gave her the money. I think he used the money to start his T-shirt.
Oh yeah, brand. That's right.
He used the money to start his T-shirt brand, and Drew had tracked.
Be careful who you date.
Be careful who you date. Alyssa had tracked him to the other girl's place. Like he had another phone or something, and she found out that he was seeing this other girl. She already knew about the other girl, apparently, but they found her at her place, and they ended up crashing it, and things went wrong, and
all that.
She chased them, and then she ended up embarrassing herself, and she was.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's right. Okay.
So it was just a bunch of things just happened one after the next.
It's a lot going on, and of course it's a comedy. So
it's a comedy, very hijinks and all the gags. We didn't even mention Cat.
He was in the trailer.
Oh yeah, he was. But I think that was another thing. He had probably one of he had something.
He was Cat Williams.
He was definitely Cat Williams. I think
literally Cat Williams.
He seemed like he could have hopped right off the set of Club Shay Shay and went straight to the set of the show.
Club Shay Shay.
Literally. It looked like he got right. Look, he was probably wearing the same thing.
Probably.
Wearing the same thing. He just walked right on, filmed his thing, went home.
And then we got YouTuber Desi Banks from Atlanta. He was in the big end of it. That party.
He was.
I thought that was cool how everything worked out too, but it was kind of you can see where it was going. So I was like, this is gonna happen. This is gonna happen. They're gonna get into a fight. Then they're gonna make up. They're gonna make up the money, probably by the art. I predicted that. It was just I just don't think they needed the freaking gang guy.
Oh, yeah, Uche. Yeah, he
kind of trying to be like Debo.
Was his name Uche? No, his Lolo. That was his name. Yeah, because he was barely even in the movie until the end, and
I forget how they tied them together
because of the shoes. They were his shoes.
Oh yeah.
Which I'm like,
why was just random?
It was very random. It was like the fact that it was that part was a little choppy, I think.
Yeah.
But they did tie it in with something from earlier.
Yeah.
But it was. Yeah, I think. I mean, it all did work out, but at the same time, it was the way it was. It was. I mean. Yeah, it definitely did work out. But I think that it felt like he was more shoehorned in.
Yeah.
In a sense, though. Something that you kind of mentioned. So when Drew and Alyssa, they had their falling out. Who did you feel like was more in the wrong in that situation, or who was more? Yeah. Okay, I felt the same way, but it was what she had said. She basically said she I guess knew about her faults or her struggles, but she was honest with them. But it didn't seem like she was really taking accountability. It was just she basically was like, I know I'm trash.
It is who I am.
That's who I am type of thing. And that's what, I think that's the part that bothered me, because it was of course.
You didn't admit that you were.
Yeah,
So that's another thing that we were talking about earlier, that it's some people just don't want to change. They're gonna be who they are, and that's kind of why you just need to do what's best for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's family members, sometimes it's boyfriend, sometimes it's a best friend. You know, it is. Yeah. Sometimes you just gotta do what's best for yourself and look out for yourself.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
For sure. For sure. But yeah, I am glad that they were able to reconcile, and I'm sure that I knew that they were going to.
Of course.
But it was, yeah, it just it took a minute. They had the shout out to the new neighbor.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, shout out to the new neighbor.
She came in clutch.
Okay, she did come in clutch.
Came in clutch.
She did come in clutch, but yeah, I don't know. Do you have anything else to add? Because I definitely would recommend people go see this.
Go see it, man.
Go see it in the theater. We don't get too many studio comedies in the
yeah,
theater.
And definitely support and all that stuff. What was I gonna say? And they don't stay in the theater for long. So
that's true. They don't
catch it when you can.
Catch it when you can.
Yeah. Before it goes on streaming, because you don't know where it's gonna be streaming to.
That's true. So necessarily.
Anyways, I think that's it for me, at least.
Yeah.
What y'all think about the movie? What are your favorite parts now that you're in the spoiler zone? And yeah.
Yeah, let us know in the comments what y'all think.
Yeah. And any other movies that you want us to review, let us know in the comments as well. We hope everybody has a wonderful day, a wonderful weekend. Peace and be blessed.
All right, y'all. Catch y'all next time. Peace.